welcome back. Episode 37, Drop the Green. So, did a whole full season here, so we're going to close it out today.
Can you believe it?
I can't believe it.
We started, hold on, let's just we got to do a little reminiscent of how far we have come. We did episode 1. We uploaded it February 17th. We were looking before the show. February 17th of this year, and it is now November 13th. As we were recording tonight on a Wednesday.
Did not miss a week.
No, we took our break.
Yeah.
And other than that, we got some out late, but they were recorded before. So you can try to test us like that, but no, we got them out. We got them out and recorded before the events, but golly, dude.
I know.
I don't know if we've ever said this on air, but maybe we did. I'm sorry. I just feel like reminiscing about this
because it's let me know when I can finish the intro.
I will because it's going to be probably a short episode today, so I'm trying to add on a little bit.
Yeah.
But you told me, you was like, dude, we would talk about this stuff in the truck all the time after race when we were over at your house, and you were like, dude, we should do a podcast. And you were like, yeah, I'll do one. And finally, I said, let's do it. Let's do it this year. I think we only scheduled it a week before the first race. Right. It was like when it really came all together, and we recorded on my Mac. We recorded the first episode on the Mac
at my house.
At your house.
Yeah.
We recorded the second episode.
One microphone
that we put in a mug. We didn't have a stand.
Yeah.
But we put in the middle microphone. Sounded like horrible.
Terrible.
Then we go back to your house again. I bring my whole desktop and we do it on that. Which sounded a teensy bit better. I was listening back today. Teensy bit better. And look at us now.
I know.
Look at us now.
It's come a long way.
It's come a long way.
Right. One thing before I finish the intro, we're going to ramble today. So I remember when we did the first episode and you said, hey, just like whatever you are preparing, just like do more because the time's going to fly by.
Yeah.
And we're going to get done. It's probably, and you said, don't worry if it lasts 30 minutes, it lasts 30 minutes. Episode 1, I think, was 2 hours and 20 minutes.
It was so long.
It was so long. And we were like,
so long.
Now we have a problem.
Now we do.
And we didn't fix that.
No. We're still here.
We're still here. But anyway, episode 37, as always, we're going to dedicate this episode to somebody. This week's overview is going to be on the state of the sport.
Yes.
A little bit different than what you saw this week.
This is going to be a real one. This is unbiased. Yeah. Not with the blinders on.
Right.
Some good takes here.
Good takes.
Yeah.
We'll recap Phoenix, talk about who stood out. We'll do some off-season predictions.
Yep.
Obviously, don't have a race coming up, and then drop the green bets. We'll see where we landed. Mm-hmm. If we made y'all money, we'll recap how that went, and then we'll close with a choose who zone. And I think that's it.
That's it, man.
That's it. Nothing next week. So, as always, my name's Austin.
My name's Spencer.
Let's drop the green.
It's been a long time gone since the truth's been told, and I've seen my head cut us low. Come on, save my soul with a ball guitar and a honky tonk.
All right, back in it. So, episode 37 edition. I'm going to start because I think. Well, let me get my maths right here. You need to start.
I need to start.
You need to start. Yeah, I think that's right. Because not to bury the lead here, we're doing the same car.
Yeah, different drivers.
But one drove it before, and I think
2017.
Your guy drove it first.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So.
Yep. So right here, I got Chris Buescher again this week. 37 was a little tough. Wasn't much, guys.
No.
When I was looking, though, real quick, Tiny Ludd, who we just did for Choose Who Zone, drove the 37, like in a handful of races.
Yeah.
No telling who it was for or when because of that error, of course. But, yeah, he drove the number 37.
Interesting.
But Chris Buescher, Prosper, Texas. I'm not going to go into anything too crazy on sorry, I lost my page. Too crazy about him because we kind of already did that back in episode 17. But this is a JTG Doherty car right here, this number 37. He drove it from 2017 to 2019. Best finish in points was 20th. I think he had 2 top 10s in it, so nothing crazy out of the 3 years. I think he had 2 top 10s. So yeah, Chris Buescher, man.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to repeat myself, but I mean, I kind of like barely remember this. This is right when I was first starting to learn drivers and numbers. But he to me in this car, also with the sponsors that he had, kind of like reminded me of Ricky Stenhouse.
Yes.
Like, I mean, I know he had 47, so 37 but that same type of caliber team I'll put them at, which to me was very interesting that this was a Chevy. I don't think I realized that after when he went to RFK after this car. He drove a Ford, of course, but I thought that was maybe the only interesting piece, I guess.
Yeah, so that's actually a really good segue. So Chris Buescher was one of those guys, I think we've talked about it before, like Roush signs like basically lifetime contracts.
Yeah.
Right? So, and he also got, he was lucky he's younger, but he's just old enough to be where he was one of those development guys.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like he got signed to Roush, and from the stories he tells, it was like you got to the shop at 6 a.m. and you worked on your ARCA car, and then you went and raced your ARCA car.
Yeah.
And you had to be there at 6 a.m. doing the actual stuff, right?
With Roush.
Yeah. And so then he came up through Xfinity. I believe he won one, if not two. See, this is where I get him and Stenhouse. I know him and Stenhouse both won Xfinity championships.
Mm-hmm.
One of them won one of them won 2.
Okay.
I think Buescher won 2. That seems crazy.
That does kind of seem crazy.
Oh,
Checking
man.
for you now.
I feel like he won 2. I don't know why. Maybe Stenhouse won 2. But I know Buescher definitely won a championship with Roush and Xfinity. One of them won 2. You'll be able to tell me which one. So if you look at
Xfinity 2015.
2015. Okay,
It's the
so
only
it was
one
just
Buescher
time.
won. Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure Stenhouse won 2.
Okay.
Or maybe I'm just crazy. But Buescher definitely won 1.
Yeah,
right?
he did. He did in 2015.
And then, so kind of the way the story's told is he was still on a Roush contract,
Mm-hmm.
but Roush didn't have any room in Cup for him.
Oh.
So they more or less loaned him out to JTG.
Ricky won 2.
Ricky won 2. Okay.
Back to back.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't. For some reason, I can't.
Dude, that's what I'm saying. It's
weird.
They're kind of like
It's
the
weird.
same dude.
I know. They're very similar.
Very.
So they loaned Ricky out, or I'm sorry, they were loaning Buescher out. See how easy it is? They loaned Buescher out to JTG, right? And he's at JTG, like you said, for those years.
Mm-hmm.
In the meantime, Ricky is in the 17 for Roush.
Yes, for Roush. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
They like flip-flopped him.
yeah, they flip-flopped him.
Yeah.
So he gets like 2 wins in 17, one at Talladega, one at Daytona. And then he just like is Ricky Stenhouse. Roush is going down. So out of nowhere, they decide they're going to pull Buescher off of his loan. Right? Like, hey, we put you on loan to JTG.
But this, again, not to interrupt, but would this be like somehow Trackhouse pulling Zane from a Spire car in the middle of the year or something?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it wasn't the middle of the year.
But it was still at the end.
It was at the end, right? And so they pull Buescher back, and then they're just like, hey, Ricky, eat a bag of dicks.
Oh.
And what's worse about this is Jack Roush does his press conference. They're like, Buescher's here, Jack's there, and they're like, yeah, we're so excited to have Chris back home at Roush, and like, we just look forward to, winning races and not fixing race cars. As we know, Ricky wrecks a lot of race cars, right?
But he did win.
But he did win.
Yeah.
And you got to think, as much as we talk about Ricky, or I'm sorry, good
Buescher.
God, dude,
Yeah.
why?
I've started something.
Why?
I know.
But as much as Buescher was like a lifelong Roush guy, so was Ricky.
Yeah.
So like Ricky came up through like ARCA, Xfinity,
6 a.m. They're
like,
doing the whole 9.
Same thing.
Yeah.
And then they just bury him.
Oh.
So anyway, that's how Buescher left JTG, and basically the only place left for Ricky to go short notice was to take Buescher's ride.
Okay.
And when he took Buescher's ride, they flipped the numbers. So,
Okay.
So that all goes into Ryan Preece.
Yeah.
Who's my 37.
Yep.
So
let me throw him up here because this is kind of a cool car.
yeah, which Spencer was asking me which one I wanted. He said Natty Light Seltzer, and I was like, didn't even know that existed.
I honestly forgot Natty Light made a seltzer.
I did too.
But this would have had to been 2021 or 2020.
Probably. It's when everybody was making seltzers.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
I think Pennzoil made a seltzer.
Was it 87 unleaded?
Yeah, it's
okay.
5W30 pomegranate.
Okay. Yeah, there we go.
But anyway, so Ryan Preece, I don't think we've done him before. I don't think so.
I don't think I did him because we would have only done him. No, we hadn't got to 41
we
yet.
hadn't got to 41. So I'll go a little bit in depth. So he was born October 25th, 1990 in I think
October 5th?
October 25th.
Oh, 25th.
Yeah. Sorry.
No, that's close to my birthday.
I know.
Dude, he's a oh, dude, Catherine's going to kill me if I say this wrong. His
Sagittarius?
Son, no, he's not a Sagittarius. He ain't a Cancer. No, Libra. He's a Libra. I think. I think if you're October, you're Libra.
That sounds right to me.
Okay. I could have said Cancer. You would have been, yeah.
I'm a Cancer, so I know it's not that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm surprised you know your stuff, dude.
Yeah, I mean, I'll read my horoscope, see what's on the horizon.
Yeah, dude. All right. Sorry, we're having fun. We're having fun today.
October 25th, 1990. Berlin, Connecticut, I believe. I can't read my handwriting. But so Ryan Preece came up same way as everybody else. One of the few guys from Connecticut. Mm-hmm. So he actually knew Joey Logano. Because Joey Logano grew up in Connecticut.
Small town.
You know, like race quarter midgets together.
Yep.
Then Joey went down south. Ryan stayed there. Got really big into modifieds, which we've talked about a lot.
Probably because Joey left so he could win something.
Right,
yeah, I mean, I would have stayed if your biggest competition is leaving.
That definitely helped.
Okay.
But we talked about all these Northeast guys run modifieds. So he's a modified guy. 2013 Wheeling Modified Champion. So that would have made him 23 years old.
Yeah.
And you know that those are professional race car drivers, right? But it's also a lot of older guys have been doing it a long time, and here comes this 23-year-old just waxing.
Yeah.
So he's got a bunch of wins there. So he ends up going, makes his Xfinity debut that same year in 2013, just like a small ride. Goes full-time Xfinity racing in 2016 with JD Motorsports. So they're kind of a real low-budget team. They'll take a chance on drivers like a Ross Chastain, a Landon Castle. Like, you don't really need to bring funding. If you do, that's great. But
they had Nutrigen for a while, didn't they? Because when that Ross's car was,
he took Nutrien to
he did take them
to Colleague.
Okay, sorry, getting off topic again.
But when Ross was at JD Motorsports, he brought like Helena.
No way, they sponsored like the whole car.
Not the whole car.
Okay,
they had like a decal
on it,
and then his fire suit said like
Helena.
Yeah,
that's
cool.
I
used to work for Helena, so it's kind of crazy.
It is wild.
But so like you could bring money, but like it didn't. He just wanted people in his cars that would not wreck them. That's like JD Motorsports MO. So 2016 finishes 17th in points in a JD Motorsports car. Nothing to sneeze at. Basically, he decides to take a chance, and we see this a lot more now. He takes the money he could have to run a full season at like a JD Motorsports or maybe a little bit above that. Takes all that money and goes part-time at JGR.
Yeah.
Right, because we know one thing. They'll take your money.
Yeah, they'll take it.
They'll take it.
Yeah.
Right, and they don't really care where you finish.
Nope.
But they'll take your money. So he does part-time with JGR in 17 and 18. I didn't look. I think it was like maybe 10, 15 races or so between 2 years. Gets 2 wins.
That's
pretty
good.
Yeah, you just hop in a car, and we see that now with Ryan Truex.
Yeah,
3 times now. Hasn't worked out for him. I think Preece got a little bit lucky. The models changed that much, but you got to remember there's only certain teams that will take a he didn't like the world. He's not a Kyle Larson.
Yeah,
right, but he's not like a. Who's somebody paying for the Riding Cup?
Oh,
Ty Dillon.
Ty Dillon, yeah.
Ty Dillon. Like he's not Kyle Larson, but he's not Ty Dillon either. Yeah. He's somewhere in between. So then
it's almost kind of like a Josh Berry type of character.
Right. Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. So a natural fit would be JTG.
Yes.
Right. So he goes to JTG, and
Or Chip Ganassi kind of back in the day.
Ganassi, yeah. So, and that's another.
I know. Sorry, I just.
No.
Yeah.
It's interesting though, because Chip always hired off talent.
Yeah, that's how we got Kyle Larson.
Yeah. And he doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah. I know.
Right?
I know.
Yeah. We'll
Sport.
get into that in the
yeah, state of the sport, baby.
Yeah. So anyway, so 2019 he goes to JTG and he replaces, if I remember right, I'm 99% sure this, 99.999% sure this is correct, AJ Allmendinger.
Oh yeah.
So they fire AJ Allmendinger from the 47. They hire Ryan Preece.
For the 37.
For the 47.
47. Okay.
47. Right. So this is 2019.
Okay.
So then 2020 happens. The whole Buescher Ricky thing.
Yeah.
So they bring Ricky in, put him in the 47.
Yep.
They put Preece in the 37.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And it's kind of weird. You're like, why? Well, come to find out that charter was on lease. So 2021, Preece is still in the 37, unchartered.
Wow.
Unchartered. So they have the 47 with Ricky. They have the 37 with Preece, unchartered. So you can kind of see the writing on the wall of where this 37's going.
Yeah.
To his credit, makes every single race.
That's impressive.
That's impressive, right?
That's really impressive. The pressure that's under you just in qualifying.
Just to qualify. And maybe there's some weeks where, there's not enough people to show up to where anyone goes home. But, you got to think like Daytona.
Yeah. Oh, he
still had to race his way in.
Yep.
And that kind of set the tone for the whole season. Mm-hmm. So he did good there. They end up, not running that car. They don't have a charter. As we've talked about, if you don't have a charter, there's really no reason. You're not getting the same money.
No.
Right?
No.
Like you're just having fun.
Yeah.
You can only have so much fun when you're going broke.
Yeah.
So 37 goes away. We have the 47 with Ricky now. Mm-hmm. That's the only car at JTG. So he's kind of back at square one. He does some part-time truck racing, takes what little bit of money he has and takes it where he can.
Yep.
I think he won a truck race or two. He ran for Rick Ware Racing when he could.
Okay.
Just like riding on the back. And then that leads to Tony Stewart, who really, really liked Ryan Preece, right? Because he sees a lot of himself, racer, doing it the hard way. Tony convinces Gene Haas to kick Cole Custer out.
Which honestly, pretty impressive to where Cole Custer's father is pretty high up.
Yeah, he's like the president of SHR.
yeah.
So, if anything, probably caused all the friction that led to where we're at now.
Probably didn't help. No, because Gene was already kind of done with it anyway at that point because they had not won anything because that was after Kurt left that car.
It was after so Kevin was there, right?
Kevin was still there.
No. He started at SHR in I've got 23.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Kevin's
Cole
last year.
Yeah, because Custer took over for Kurt, right?
Yes.
Busch, am I right?
Yes, yeah. Because that seems crazy.
Who else would have been in that car? Because the 14 with Clint. Clint gave it to Chase. Chase Briscoe.
That's crazy.
And I'm pretty sure it had to be.
Yeah.
Damn, Custer had to take over for Kurt Busch.
Yeah.
Because he ended at Stewart Haas.
Yes.
I thought that's where he hung it up.
Well, talking about Busch.
Yeah, Kurt Busch.
Busch went from SHR
to 2311. I'm sorry, Ganassi, and then.
So I feel like we're missing somebody in the 41. Maybe. Are we dumb?
Are we?
That seems crazy.
Because it would have been Amarola in the 10.
In the 10, yeah.
And it would have Kevin in the 4, Briscoe in the 14. The 41 had to go from Kurt to Preece.
I guess we just forgot that Custer. So I remember
Custer raced like 3 years then.
Yeah. I remember Custer won his rookie year, which would have been 19.
Yeah. 19 or 18.
Yeah. That's wild.
Now we got a little.
It just seems weird. You start thinking about that. Like,
I know.
That doesn't sound right. But Kurt was only at Ganassi for 2 years.
Okay.
And then he was only he wasn't even at 2311 a full year. You remember?
Yeah.
Because he got his concussion and set out.
Mm-hmm.
Time flies. It's really the principle there. All right, you look that up. I'm going to finish this up real quick.
He started for Stewart Haas in that's the Xfinity Series.
He won. So I remember Custer won that race at Texas in the 550 package. And I think that
2020 was his first year in the 41. Cole Custer's 2020.
Okay. So then that would have put Kurt in the 1 in 20 and 21. And then in the 45 and 22. Yeah. That makes sense.
Okay. So we didn't forget anybody.
No,
We're just
that just seems weird to
Yeah.
think about.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Now we're getting old.
Yeah, that's wild.
It's wild. All right. I'm gonna get back here.
Yeah,
quick.
go ahead.
Yeah. So Preece goes to SHR 23 to 24. Obviously, we know SHR no longer exists.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of friction. If you look into it a little bit, like
Yep.
Preece was kind of the odd man out at SHR. I don't know if you saw the. There was a clip. They were trying to get an SHR picture. Did you see that?
I saw this. Yes, yeah.
And they're like, "Where's the 41?" They're like, "Pit Road." And they're like, "Oh,
Take it anyway.
yeah."
Yeah.
They're like, "Color me surprised."
Yeah.
So there's a lot of friction there. There's more to that too. But have you heard the rumor of where he's going to be?
No. Where's that?
Everyone's saying that RFK is buying a charter.
Oh, he's going to
going
end
to
up.
RFK.
He's going back to Roush.
But he's never at Roush.
That's okay. Yeah, my
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah. Now you're mixing Preece.
Yeah, I know. Now I'm mixing everybody up.
Everybody,
Yeah.
So
Okay.
that's kind of the rumor,
Okay.
but we'll see. But
Yeah.
just wanted to finish up: 0 Cup wins,
Yep.
2 Xfinity wins, 2 truck wins. Hall of Fame. No.
Okay.
You don't have to ask that.
Yeah,
every time,
I know.
But all right, are we good there?
One more thing I'll say about Preece is I got to meet him. Cool
What?
dude. He was at that
Oh, in Nashville.
at the fairgrounds when we went to the pits. We're literally standing beside Ross's car, Josh Berry's car, and he goes up, dabs up Josh Berry before he gets in, and of course Bob Pockris is talking to him, and then as he's walking off, we go, Preece, and he waves at us and stuff.
Nice.
So yeah, I mean,
That's cool.
he was within 10 feet of us. So
That's
yeah,
cool.
I
That
think
reminds
that's
me.
cool.
He's got a nickname.
Oh,
Preece Lightning.
Preece Lightning. That's not bad. That's not bad.
It's not
It's
terrible.
it's not terrible.
I don't
We've
love
definitely
it.
heard worse.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
that's
don't love it, but it's a nickname.
it is. Yeah.
That should be an off-season episode.
That's it, dude. I literally wrote that down.
Yeah, just
as
make
I
a
was
nickname
thinking.
for everybody.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Man, that's so good. All right. I know this episode is not going to be short. I don't know why you said that. 'cause
I know,
this
but-
next part's going to take.
It could. It could take a while.
3 days.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to set you up. I think everybody. I don't want to drone on, but this week's overview is going to be on the state of the sport. So
Yep.
if you watch Steve Phelps and Steve O'Donnell, as always, did almost like a State of the Union, State of the Sport address. Just some key takeaways. They came right out and said, "I've heard a lot of talk about this Final Four not being deserving.
Yep.
This is the most deserving format." That's number one.
Yeah.
Number two, they said, there's a lot about officiating. We do not have an officiating problem.
Yeah.
And then number three, can't really think of an exact third one. They said so much stuff, but like once again, they said we have manufacturers looking.
Yeah. No way.
No way.
Yeah. No way.
It's better than it's ever been. Ratings are up, which ratings are like,
Dude, maybe
incrementally.
if you're counting ratings up, maybe 2%. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Is that
it's not much.
It's
Yeah.
not much. I mean, we pulled up the Martinsville ratings,
Yeah.
and the thing is when we talk about ratings, it is so hard to find ratings for NASCAR because they keep it so close to the
Yeah, they
vest.
don't want it-
They don't want anyone to know
Yeah.
because they can say things like that and you can't fact check them.
yeah.
I mean, you can't. You'll never know.
Yeah,
I want to
you'll
get a
never
job
know.
in NASCAR and run for their analytics team and just come on here and just
Lie?
yeah, because that's what they're doing. There's no
yeah,
way.
it's nuts. So basically, they said everything's great. It's better than it's ever been. Before we make this too negative, I do want to say and I'm gonna ask you a lot of these questions, but there's stuff we like.
Yes, yeah,
We wouldn't be sitting here talking about it if we didn't like it.
100%.
But there's problems.
Yeah.
So this is the real state of the sport. Just from two people. What do we know?
Yeah,
But it's going to be
more than NASCAR.
Right. It's
Yeah.
going to be truthful.
Yeah,
So I'm going to run through good, bad of a couple different things. So Number one, what are the good and the bad of the current car?
The current car, it's amazing on mile and a halves. We have the. I'm trying to think of the good things because the first thing that comes to mind are always
positive.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And the first thing that comes to mind are bad things. Good things is I love the pit stops. I love the fact that I like the suspension. It's leaving me the independent suspension. Mm-hmm. I don't mind that at all. I think it's cool that we can replace these different parts on the racetrack. Get back out there. I love the body, how it's stiffer. Like we talked about that, and when this car first came out, we saw people nail the wall, which would have put the old car out by a mile. Fender rub, tires going down all the time. We eliminated stuff like that, which I think was good for the sport. You can be a little bit more rough around the edges, be a little bit more aggressive. I like that. The spoiler height, that's not been a problem. We don't even talk about that anymore, which I think is...
Which... I'm going to play devil's advocate here. It's because the car's so big, you can take the spoiler off completely.
I know, but I'm just saying that. I'm just trying to think of big talking points with the old car. What we always talked about. I mean, we change the spoiler every single week on the other car.
I'll tell you one that I know but it'll you kind of have to think about this one. I guess is what I'm thinking. That we made everybody closer, right?
Yes,
which is it has its negatives.
Yep.
But how many mile and a half have we watched where somebody's leaving by 10 seconds?
None.
0. They stay close.
Yes.
So I think that's something good as well.
Yeah, it is. The racing is more competitive.
It's more competitive. That's good and bad, right?
Yeah.
It's good and bad.
I think it's an overall good.
Yeah.
I do. Because it helps. It would have helped to Chip Ganassi. It would have helped. It helps JTG. I mean, it helps these lower level teams. Now, the sad thing is they went to the charters, which kind of hurt these little teams at the same time, know. But, I mean, overall good things. I think as far as the car goes, we're in a decent spot. Aero blocking became a thing, again.
I think that's always been a thing.
But for some odd reason, it was only like highlighted now. Don't you?
Yeah, it was.
Like it was a talking point for a while.
It was, but what's funny is I can't remember what race it was, but it was a big aero blocking race.
It was the one that Blaney and Ross got into it, wasn't it? Because I think it had to be at Phoenix last year.
That was one. But there was one this year too. I can't remember which one it was, but somebody pulled this video from 2003. And it was all these guys like Bobby Labonte, Matt Kenseth, Ryan, all the other guys, Terry Labonte too, and they're they called it they didn't call it aero blocking, but they called it something blocking.
Yeah.
It was the same thing.
Same thing.
And yes, I will say this car, as big as it is, big of a footprint, you can aero block better. Mm-hmm. But also that's just the way the racing's gone.
Yeah.
To where, really back in the day, you didn't see people blocking much because they had more courtesy. Yeah. I don't really want courtesy.
No.
Personally.
We've talked about that on the show before, that courtesy is the worst thing that can happen.
Yes.
I don't want to see
sportsmanship.
Not on the track.
No.
I want to see you 100%, 110% every time that you're racing. Yeah. You can be friends off the track, but you have to have a mindset of when you step into that car, you have no friends.
Right.
You don't.
You have to be like Joe Logano.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, real quick, what's bad about the car?
Golly. The tires are too wide. We don't get the tire wear that we used to. The aero blocking is kind of been a big issue. The oh gosh, what else comes to mind? Yes. Nothing's coming to mind straight offhand. But the tires is the biggest concern for me, where we went to an 18-inch tire, 18-inch wheel, which is widened the tire tremendously, causing the cars to have too much grip. And again, not enough horsepower. But that's my other biggest issue.
That's a big one. And we've talked about that.
Yeah.
A million times.
Yeah.
So, okay. Not that I'm trying to cut you off.
No, go ahead.
More. All right. Good and bad about drivers. What's good about our current drivers?
What's good? We get to see guys that would never win. Harrison Burton. That's good.
That's a solid argument.
Daniel Suarez. We would have probably never seen him win a race this year, make the playoffs. Other good things. They have more opportunities to get a little bit more screen time with what NASCAR has done with Netflix and the doc series. I think that's a overall great thing for drivers if they can participate and NASCAR asks them to participate.
Do we have, I guess more along the lines of like, number one, do we have good drivers? And by good drivers, do we have the best drivers? And number two, do we have the best personalities?
Okay, the best drivers, I think it's 75-25. I think we have 75% of the best drivers. We still get that pay to play that I think we'll never eliminate. So you always have to keep that. Best personalities, we don't highlight them. I think we have top tier personalities that we don't tap into at all. And to me, it could be literally anybody. Like, no matter how crazy or weird you think it is, dude, if we put cameras on a Clint Boyer, like, we know how he is in the booth. Yeah. Even though I'm not fond of that personality in the booth, guaranteed it would have made a great docuseries if we followed that dude around.
Right.
It would have. I mean, the personalities are there. We just don't. NASCAR doesn't force their hand enough to tap into them. Like, they make them go to these certain things. But I mean, we can pick on Willie B, who I remember when he won the Daytona 500, and we bashed him for not even literally being excited.
Right.
It was so weird. And so it's like, is it the teams? Is it the drivers that are really just not good at having personalities, or are these teams and the whole sport just making them robots? And so to me, I think that's up for debate. But yeah, I think we have really decent personalities that we don't tap into, though. I think that's the bad part.
I agree. I think there's some good personalities out there. I think some of it's not their fault, and it's I hate to say this, it might be something we have to get used to, because when you have someone like William Byron, someone like Chase Elliott, all they've grown up and done is race. Yeah. Right? So, like, they never had a chance to...
They may not know their own personality.
More or less. Like, they didn't have a chance to dick off like we did.
Yeah.
And, like, where did we develop, like, the social skills?
You go to public school and you
dick around.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, that's really what it is.
Yeah.
And
you roll houses, punch dogs. You do all this
that
stuff.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, you're just like an idiot around people.
Yes.
And then you have other people that when you add like too much of an idiot, they say, "Hey, you're a fucking idiot."
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and it's not their fault. Like, they just don't get that. They don't get that, but they wouldn't be where they're at if they grew up like us.
No.
Right?
No, they would. Yeah, 100%.
It's that like catch-22, I guess. It's like, yeah, he could have been a normal dude with like a good personality, but if I didn't stick him in a quarter midget at 4 years old.
Yeah.
And we have exceptions, right? Like, I think, and we'll talk about him later, like, people hate this, but I think like Joey Logano is a great personality. Yes, he is. He's like a very normal dude.
Yes. Sounds a little bit funny, but that's him.
He's from Connecticut.
Yeah.
Ryan Blaney, super good personality.
Cool dude.
I feel like for some reason he dials it back.
He does.
And that could be like what you said.
That's the team. That's the team.
That's the team.
That's the team.
Like, we can't win.
We can't.
It's like, wow, we have this one good personality, but he's under this umbrella.
Yeah.
To where he can't do anything. So
and we've seen personalities grow, like Bubba. Bubba's a huge one.
That's so funny too, because like people beg for personalities. You have someone like Bubba that dude, he'll tell you exactly how he feels.
Yes.
People hate him.
Yeah.
People hate him.
I know. And then we love Chase Elliott, who won't tell you anything.
Denny Hamlin.
Yeah.
Denny Hamlin. If you ask an old school NASCAR fan, they're like, I miss when people came up the hard way. They'd race like they didn't care about what anybody else, and they spoke their mind. I'm sorry, but that's Denny Hamlin.
That's Denny Hamlin.
That's Denny Hamlin.
Yes.
But you hate him.
You hate him.
So
everyone hates him.
Yeah. So my maybe that's more on the fans.
Yeah, it might be more than we think.
Yeah.
It really is. As a fan, you have to do your due diligence. A lot of it is their presence on social media. Again, I couldn't imagine their schedule.
Yeah.
Also, if I'm a team owner, I don't want to see my driver on Instagram or Twitter all the time. Just
right.
Even if they're saying positive things, like you're like, man, dude, you finished 25th in a race. Maybe let's get off Twitter. And you see what I'm saying?
No,
though
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
I guess just to play devil's advocate, Aaron Rodgers exists.
No, I know.
Is that not the most controversial person you could ever be?
Yeah, now in football.
Good God.
Yeah.
I'm like, he's not doing anything.
No.
I mean, they just won. I actually watched professional football a couple weeks ago.
Let's go.
They were like on a 4 or 5
game losing streak.
And they won.
And they won. Mm-hmm.
So, like, he's not doing great.
No.
And he's also not doing anything in the public that would, like...
No, I mean, he goes on Pat McAfee's show all the time. I would love to see, like, a driver do a daily spot on, like, not a daily spot, but maybe, like, a monthly spot on Danny's show or...
anything.
Door Bumper Clear, any of these...
But also, I guess my point with Aaron Rodgers is, like, that dude says wild shit.
Yes.
Now, I might agree. Personally, I might agree with, like, everything he's saying. but I'm just saying, like, and the cultural norm is he's saying wild shit.
Yeah.
It is not affecting
how
much he's getting paid or his job or anything.
Nothing.
So you can't tell me that these drivers that have B2B sponsorships.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And we've talked about that too. Mm-hmm. So I don't want to get on too much tangent.
No, that's
awesome. Because I've got 2 more for you.
Okay.
Teams. So overall teams. What's good? What's bad?
The teams are getting ridiculous, as we saw.
You're OEMs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're talking. You're not talking manufacturers.
I'm not trying to dial you down.
No.
Like,
teams.
Yes.
I still think they're ridiculous.
Yeah. They are.
Okay.
Which is a good point. Not to cut you up, but like, so I say teams.
Yeah. He's talking Hendrick.
Yeah.
Penske.
That's what's funny is like we've gone from back in the days like you owned a car, you drove it. Then somebody owned it, you drove it. Mm-hmm. Then we had teams, and now the teams are the manufacturers, right?
Yeah.
So I think that's a good point.
Yeah.
That's just what I want to...
No, it's the teams have gotten out of hand how much they will do to help one another in these situations. And again, it's so tough because, yes, I completely understand. I think there needs to be a line. Don't wreck anybody. But other than that, I think that should be the line. You should not. You can help a little strategy wise, maybe like, hey, what's Larson doing that's going to help the 24 out? What's the 99 doing that'll help the 1 out? I think that's fine. That's what teams should be. That should be the line. After that, everything else should be helped before the race. But once you get to the track, after qualifying, once they drop the green flag, your teammate kind of doesn't exist. Right. You know what I mean? That's what I think it should be.
Yes. And I have this, this is just an instance of where I feel like the sport sees everything like 2 inches in front of their face.
Yeah.
So I have this dream scenario. I've thought about it so many times. Imagine like we'll just use Rick Hendrick, right? Mm-hmm. Imagine Chase and Kyle are battling for the lead at Bristol, and Chase wrecks Larson, tries to bump him, but wrecks himself. They both lose, right? And everyone's like, oh my God, they're teammates. And then they interview Rick Hendrick, right?
Yeah.
And Rick Hendrick says, I pay them both to win races. If they weren't trying to do that, I don't care who it is, right? Now, Chevy would be mad,
they'd be so mad.
But imagine, like, let's think long term.
Yeah.
Is that not the coolest thing you could ever imagine a team owner saying?
Yeah.
Which one's better for the sport? OEMs protecting themselves or doing what I just said?
You're doing what you just said. Long term, that is, everyone's going to be like, these boys want to win. You're going to get even more fans.
Which is the point, right?
Yeah, that's what I think. Yeah, 100%. And we saw this happen in the Xfinity series.
Yes.
With, was it Austin Hill and Creed?
Last year.
Yeah. Last year.
Creed did what I said.
Exactly.
And Richard Childress did the opposite of what I said.
Exactly. Yeah. I'm just saying, he was set up perfectly to go, we pay our guys to win races. You can denounce the move. Like, hey, I don't think that was a smart move. But God, I'm glad that I signed him because I know he wants to win. You know,
regardless, yeah. And at the end of the day, his teammates are the ones that have that number of that car.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Like, you might be under the same roof, but they wear a different number.
Yep.
I mean, that's how I want it to be. That's how I want it to be. So that's a good point. All right. Last one, and I'll let you go as long as you want to. And then we'll probably we'll finish on this one. Then I got a question for you.
Okay.
How about that? Competition.
Gosh. The competition.
What's good?
What's good? I like the stages. I think stages are okay. I think they're okay. I think they're okay. Again, know what we know now about the car, maybe not okay. You know what I mean? With all the polarity that we have now. Maybe you don't. Parity?
Yeah.
What's polarity?
Nothing. I think that's like in geometry.
I thought it was, okay. Parity.
Yeah,
sorry.
Yeah. No, you're good.
Okay. With all the parity that we have, I do think that stages are maybe not needed, you know, because I don't think anyone...
So close.
Exactly. I don't think even if we had a green flag run that lasted 400 laps that anyone would get a 10-second lead. No. I just don't... Maybe...
We might accidentally get good racing.
Exactly. That is tough. So, stages, 50-50. God, anything else good? Officiating's horrible.
What about the parity? So you mentioned parity. Is parity... Walk me through that. Do you like it? Do you don't?
I do like it. I do like it. I mean, okay. I think that's good. We see guys that would...
people will say is with all this parity, you can't pass.
You can't pass, no. But again, you have the option every week of building the best car. You build the best car, and you put a driver who knows how to drive that car that was built for him. You have a chance to go win race. No matter what team you're on, where you came from, you have that opportunity now. And I don't think that has ever been an opportunity until we got this car.
Yeah.
I don't.
I agree, and I think that kind of goes back to, we talked about the car earlier. The parity's good, but give us, and so the driver obviously is going to matter more.
Yes.
In theory, right?
Yes.
If you put this on paper, you make the cars the same, the driver matters more. But we've got to give a car that has more wiggle room on what that driver can do.
100%.
When we're gripped up, like you said, we got too big of a tire, right?
Yeah.
So when you're gripped up, that margin of error or that box of things you can do different is smaller.
Yeah.
So we got to do that. We've got to fix that.
Yeah.
So anything else good before I get to bad?
I mean, dude, I don't know. Everything else is in shambles, competition-wise. I literally think it's the worst.
We're gonna go to the format. I don't want you.
I know. I'm not. But I'm just trying to think of good things. I literally can't think of anything else good competition-wise that's like good for the sport. I think it's in shambles. Out of everything that we've discussed, it's the worst that it's ever been, and maybe continue to trend that way, which I didn't want to even say. But after their state of the sport, it did not help me at all.
No.
I'm not happy with it. Like that, the fact that they just can't acknowledge it, even a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, hey, we've had some questionable, like barely just touch a surface. We've had some questionable officiating. We will do our best to clean it up. Yeah. Like, come on. Even if you don't do anything about it, at least you acknowledge that we're not stupid. That we're not just sitting here watching, going, "What are we doing?"
I listened to Parker Kligerman's podcast, and I guess his girlfriend, fiance, whatever she is, she works for NBC.
Okay,
just like him, but she's on the sports side, so she does. I don't even know who she is, but evidently she's on TV.
Her last name Kligerman?
No, because they're not married. But I'm sure.
Okay. Oh, his girlfriend. Sorry.
Yeah, knowing him, she's probably a smoke show.
Dude, he's a good-looking dude.
But also, he just seems like somebody that could pull.
Yeah, he's got a good personality.
Yeah, and now he's not racing.
Yeah, I know.
But anyway, so she's been over like in Paris for the Olympics and all that.
Yeah.
But he made the funniest comment. So they brought up this officiating thing. He said, "I've seen Eldon Sawyer more than I've seen my girlfriend." Because you go back and think of all these races that have been so messed up. Then Eldon Sawyer, competition director or whatever they call him, gets on and has to explain it.
Yeah,
dude, that's been so many races,
at least twice a month. Yeah,
so many races. And so I just thought that was funny. He's like, "Why I shouldn't see you?"
No, there should be nothing in question. We don't see the NFL head referee come out and speak about NFL games. No.
So I think that's good. And like I said, we'll touch on the format later.
Do you know anything else good? Like, did I miss anything? Like, that's what. Okay. I'm literally trying not to look at it. No,
and I think, and here's our whole point of this podcast, right? And I think we said this before. Like, you should call out NASCAR on bad things.
Yes,
but I don't want to be negative either.
No,
but you can't do what we do without saying what's wrong.
Yes.
So, like, I don't want to harp on it. I agree with everything you said.
Okay.
That's where I'm going with that.
Thank you. I just need some validation.
No, you're exactly right. Yeah. Me pouring onto it doesn't help anything.
Okay.
Not to put you on the spot, I know. So I print out 2 show sheets every week. I was in a hurry. I was on the phone with a customer. Grabbed my show sheet and then a random
piece of paper.
Yeah. So Spencer doesn't have his show sheet in front of him. So hopefully I'm not putting you too much on the spot. What are 3 changes NASCAR could make tomorrow to increase interest or buy-in or positivity?
Okay. First thing I think is merchandise. We talked about this. Change the whole merchandise format, whatever it is. I don't know how you have to do it. Create a NASCAR brand, maybe. Like, even if you get, and we've talked about these big apparel companies coming in, whatever, get an official Nike thing and then make every team do it. Like, get it on the same basis, get it all on the same website. To me, it shouldn't be like NFL doesn't have this problem. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if you want to go buy a Seahawks jersey or a Titans jersey, you can do it at the same place. Like, it doesn't matter. I shouldn't have to just go to the Hendrick trailer I understand at the track, that's not what I'm getting into. If you want to sell your merch in your trailer, that's perfectly fine. Because you don't go to a Titans game and try to buy Seahawk merch. Completely fine. But to me, it should just be overarching. It shouldn't be hard to find. Get cool designs. We've talked about that. I think that's one thing you change. Merchandise. Square one. Get more fans engaged. Buying gear.
Make it cool.
Make it cool. That's the first one. Number 2, the format. I think you have to get drivers racing for the best cars have to be racing for championship. That's it. Okay. I mean, there's nothing else to be said.
Right.
The third one, I think it goes back to personalities. I think they're completely on to something with the doc, with getting this talks about a NASCAR network. I think this is good things that they're moving towards, but I think that's the third one, is getting more screen time for not just the most popular drivers, but almost everyone in the sport. Have them do more talks. Have them do, because it's not like a team, like okay, hold on. I'm sorry, I'm trying to put my thoughts together before I say it. Okay. It's the NFL, yes, we don't hear from the left tackle all the time, but then again, in the locker room, they have the choice to interview that guy. Mm-hmm. You know, like when the reporters go into the locker room, they could interview the left tackle if they wanted to. You know, they may not. He may be a captain. He may, you know, whatever. But to me, we should do interviews with every single driver after every single race. Like, or at least really close, over 75% of them.
Right.
I think that's what we should do.
Put the content out there.
Exactly. Yep. And people will eat it up, especially me, especially us. Fans will eat that stuff up.
And that's the crazy thing, and that's a really good point, because they say it every week. They're like, the battle from 15th to 30th is insane.
Yes. Okay. Talk to those guys.
So what you're telling me is those guys are pissed at each other.
Yes.
Right? And they're racing for something. Otherwise, they wouldn't be out there.
Yeah.
So let me hear Justin Haley say Corey LaJoie's a dickhead.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because also, what do they have to lose saying that?
Nothing. Yeah. You're going to race him next week for 17th, and it's going to be awesome.
Yeah, and I think they would say that.
Mm-hmm.
I really do.
I do. Yeah. Maybe you give them week after week, and we've seen it with Carson. Carson's the biggest one. Talk to that guy.
Yeah.
Talk to that guy.
Talk to anybody he wrecked.
Seriously. We've said it here before. No one's talking about him.
No one's talking about him.
And he's wrecking everybody.
Yes.
So, I don't know. I think we are missing golden opportunity to create more storylines and trying to create storylines with this format that we don't need anyway, because we already have the best storylines that we just don't tap into.
Yeah.
Organically. We're not manufacturing anything with stuff we got. So that's my third one. Tap in. And the last thing I'll say with the doc, I got into F1 a little bit more than I ever had before with the Drive to Survive. You can watch that with your girlfriend, and they break it down perfectly to where you're like, okay, this is kind of interesting. You get to know that driver. You get to know how he was brought up, where he came from, and then you get to see him drive. You get to see the real him, his personality, and then you kind of become a fan of something like that.
And you're pulling for this random dude to finish 7th.
Yeah, right? You know that you don't even care about.
Yeah. And guess what kind of format they have? Season long.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So real quick, I'm going to give you my 3. And we'll move on. Format.
Yeah.
Number 1.
Yeah.
Easy. Number 2, increase horsepower.
Yeah.
Whether we go up to the 750 that we know we have the architecture for, or we just give them 900.
Yeah.
Like I've got many car fixes. You know, maybe 900 doesn't fix it, but I'm telling you, like, it
doesn't hurt.
Just saying 900 horsepower. Yeah. Like, you could, and I'm so confident in this, you could have 900 to 1,000 horsepower and have the same exact races we have now.
Yeah.
And fans would think it's better.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's just weird.
Yep.
Number 3, I would shorten the season by 8 races.
Ooh.
We give way too much.
Yeah.
We give way too much, and I'm not the only one with this.
What races would you take off the schedule?
I don't know.
Would you just not?
Number 1, I would stop going to places twice.
Yes. Okay. That cuts out 8 races right there.
Yeah, and I'd see where that landed. Right?
Yeah.
And maybe some places, I don't know. I've heard some people that are like, some places we should go twice. I don't know. I don't know which ones they would be.
I don't know.
Like, of course, we went to Bristol twice this year.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go twice next year. Like, that's cool. Yeah, because I'm gonna go do that. But
we didn't need the fall one.
Who's to say we didn't need the spring one?
We didn't need the spring one.
Yeah. We needed
the night race. Yeah.
Yeah, the spring race was great.
Which was better. Yeah, yes, this year race wise.
You have to have like the night race.
No, 100%. Yeah.
But I guess my point being, like, yes, we go to 2 Bristol races. Like, that's what my family does. Who's to say we wouldn't go to Nashville and Bristol?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because there's no 2 Bristol races.
There's no 2 Bristol races.
So I'd start there. And like I said, I'm not the only one with this opinion, but it's like you look at like college football.
Yeah.
Dude, our season is gone in a blink of an eye. Right? And
we have 3 weeks left.
3 weeks left. And you know, they're kind of on the opposite. They're like, we need more.
We need more.
Playoff.
Yeah.
You know, and so it's almost like they're going down the road that NASCAR did years and years ago. So you need to find that balance, right?
Yeah.
Like, as much as I love racing and I want to watch it every weekend, like, you need to get the casual fan to be like, that was amazing. I need more.
Yeah.
I need more. And when you need more, then you tune in more to what you have. That makes sense.
And that's where my content idea would come up.
Yes.
You would have way more time. Drivers, they only have an 8-week off season. They have 2 months off.
We're less than less than 100 days to Daytona.
Yes. That's insane.
That's insane.
They're literally going to probably take off until, God, they probably go home for Thanksgiving. They're probably done till Thanksgiving. They probably come back for 2 weeks. Again, completely estimate. I have no idea. But this is what I would imagine. You're done till Thanksgiving. Like, you go home, you're packing the shop up, you're done till Thanksgiving. You come back probably 2 weeks in December, and you talk about something. For what are we looking for next year? What worked? What didn't? You're debriefing last year, and you do that, and then you probably take the rest of New Year's off, and then you come back straight after New Year's, like January 2nd. Yeah. You're back. You're back, and you're like, oh my God, we got to build a car in a month and a half. You know, I mean, I would assume that probably some of them already have something built.
Yeah,
I mean, or at least started. They've started.
Yeah,
which is crazy. I mean, I don't know how that would change the complexion, but to me, you want to leave people wanting more to a certain extent.
Yes.
You don't want to oversaturate everything. And I think that we're oversaturating sometimes with mediocre races.
Yes.
Like, there's
and the other thing is, we have a 36 race season, and this format that we both want to change makes like half of them irrelevant.
Yes.
We and we'll get into that, but I think that's a good place to move on.
Yeah.
So state of the sport overview. That was the real one.
That was the real one. I thought it was good.
Don't listen to Steve.
No, he doesn't know nothing.
Yeah, we'll tell you what it's about. So Phoenix recap. Was it a good race?
Yeah, I thought it was.
What's your rating?
I thought it was a good race. I gave it an 8-1. I thought it was solid. I'm not going to dog it. I mean, it was, to me, what we talked about, what we expected. Boring. It was real short track kind of racing, and that's a weird short track, if you know what I mean. And to me, again, that place plays so much different if we don't have an 18-inch wide tire and the grip's not there.
Yeah, I saw that in I don't know if you watched the Xfinity race.
Yes, no, the Xfinity race was absolutely unbelievable.
Yeah.
Congrats to Justin Allgaier, a dog.
A dog. Yeah.
I mean, if you look,
granted, there's only like 6 Xfinity cars that are competitive.
I don't care. You still had to pass them all. You still had to. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You put me in the Xfinity car, you probably don't want to pass me 18 times.
Like putting you in a Legends car in iRacing.
Oh, I'm a dog. Yeah. No, I know. Yeah. But at the same time, I mean, you still have to pass them. You still have to pass them. And he drove from the back of the field like 3 different times. It was nuts. But I think that we got exactly what we expected from that, and I'm okay with it after everything we talked about. Especially last week, and moving the championship race. I still don't think that, like you said, I mean, the more I've thought about it, that I'm not changing my opinion on it. Maybe we should move it, but I still just rather change the format than make the race.
Get to the core of the issue.
Get to the core of the issue, and don't put a Band-Aid on it. Don't put Neosporin when you need an antibiotic.
That's right,
okay,
that's right.
I mean that's what.
Yeah.
They're trying to put Neosporin on this antibiotic that you need to take for 3 weeks to be better. You got staph, okay? Yeah. you got staph, and it's going to kill you. It's going to kill you. You know. So
that's
I don't know.
That's a good point. Yeah. So I'd probably be like a 7-7.
Okay.
So one of the big things, once again, it comes down to one race. Did Reddick or Byron even have a chance?
No, clearly not. It's so appalling. And I expected more from Tyler Reddick. I really did.
I don't think he had the speed.
I know, but I'm just saying, like,
I guarantee you he was driving his balls off.
I 100%. I know he was, but it was just so appalling that they just can't find it there at Phoenix. And the last point I'll make about it is, I think you talked about it before of how, well, we talked about it last week, how there's an advantage at Homestead. I think there's an advantage at Phoenix with Penske.
It seems to be.
This week definitely proved it. Because, I mean, that's 3 years in a row that a Penske car has won it.
Yeah.
To me, that's... And two of the 3 years, to me, were underdog picks. Kind of Joey's in 2020... No, 2022. 2022. No, that's what I'm saying. 2022, he shouldn't have had an advantage. He clearly had something. They have found something there, and he won that handily. 2023 with Blaney. Clearly, again, they have found something.
Yeah.
And
now, Ross won, but Blaney was faster.
Blaney was faster the whole time. Yeah. He bitched about not being able to pass Ross. Yeah. So, just again, they have found something there, and I think if we keep going there, and a Penske car gets there, dude, they're going to be a shoe-in for that, and someone's going to have to find something there. So, again, don't think it should all come down to one race.
No.
Crazy thought that we race 35 other races, and it comes down to one.
They really don't matter.
They don't.
They don't matter. And, like...
They don't start matter until, like, race... The 10 last races.
Yes.
It doesn't matter.
And this has been said many times, like, it's nothing against Joey Logano.
No.
Because this is the format he was given.
And he plays it perfectly.
He did it.
Yeah.
Right? So, it's not against him at all. I
will say his comments after the race, when he tried to compare it to the NFL.
Yeah.
Stupid.
Yeah, I don't know why we do that. I don't know why.
No, I don't know.
Want to compare it to a stick and ball all the time.
Yes. To their playoff. Their whole season is taken into consideration. Your whole season is not.
No, and also the reason there's playoffs, in my opinion, I'm more of a race guy than anything else. But, you have playoffs in stick and ball sports because you don't play everybody, right?
Yes.
So you have to kind of level the playing field to where, okay, now they play them, now they play them. Is there randomness to it? For sure. but like they are playing everybody every week.
I know. And
everybody every week.
So me and JD had a discussion. I hope he listens to this, and because we were talking about that same thing, and Joey Logano's quote just kind of stuck with me. Like that was so stupid for him to say that.
What else is he gonna say?
No, 100%. He has to back NASCAR because he's won in that format three times now.
Yeah.
Good again. Not discounting that. That's the format he's given. He cannot change the format.
No.
Win in your format.
Yeah.
Good on you. But the thing to try to compare it, if you wanted race head to head, I think don't think this would be cool at all. I mean, in the format, I do think it would be cool, but I don't want this, is what I'm trying to say. But I think it would be cooler if you're going to do this, set every week. Set to where everyone plays everybody head to head and you have a record. So, like, you see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like, I think that would be more compelling in this format than what we do now. Because now Kyle Larson only has to beat Carson Hocevar this week. Okay, now next week he has to beat Denny. Next week he has to beat Chase. Next week he has to beat Ricky Stenhouse. You see what I'm saying? Now his record is 10-0. He hasn't lost head to head. You see what I'm saying? And to me, that is more compelling than racing everybody and you win one race and you get in. I think that's more because then you can go, oh, Joey would have lost half his matchups head to head.
Right.
Because I mean he finished.
Okay, but give Kyle Larson. Let's say, like you said, it was him and Carson that week, right?
Yeah.
And he blows the tire.
Again, I know my plan is not foolproof, but also what I'm saying, he probably races differently.
Probably
because he only has to beat Carson.
Yeah.
Again, it changes everything at the same time. I don't think it would be good for the sport, but I do think at the end of the day that would be more compelling for the format. Like to get into the playoff. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay. Again, we've talked about manufacturing and manipulating races. That would be manipulating races for sure. Because but at the same time, I think that's what the format plays into is race manipulation.
It does, and we've talked about it before. I think we developed this format to manufacture parity, and now we have parity.
Yeah.
So I don't. They're never going to go back to full season.
No.
Unless they shorten the season.
Yeah.
Then you could talk them into it, but something has to be done.
Yes.
Just something has to be done. And what makes this worse is it's happening to Joey, who is not a fan favorite for whatever reason. Mm-hmm. I don't understand that. Yeah. If Joey's just not your favorite, I get it, but like, there's ridiculous Joey hate.
Yeah.
And I know most people are like, yeah, just like his dad was rich and all that stuff. And then Chase Elliott's the most popular driver who would not be here.
Yeah, if it wasn't
for his dad.
Yeah.
So I feel like in NASCAR's eyes, anybody that bitches about this, they're like, oh, they're just not Joey Logano fans. So like, we're not getting any closer to our goal.
No,
because
that's why we want to set the precedent that we love Joey Logano.
Right.
I would. Yeah. I just don't think that he deserved a championship this year. And I think if we got him behind closed doors, no microphones, he would say the same thing. He would.
See, that's always been my...
They would say the same thing.
And some of this is personality, but some of this I feel like is the format. Like, you look back at some of these people that win, like Joey, when he wins the championship, is like unapologetically happy.
Yes.
Like, does not care.
That's cool.
Yeah. But you go back, like, look at Chase Elliott when he won.
Yeah.
He was just kind of like...
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
Like Kyle Busch when he won in 19, he was like,
yeah.
Did I?
Yeah.
I mean? Like even Blaney last year was like, yeah.
We had it today.
Yeah.
We had it today.
Like, I feel like they don't even buy into it.
No.
So now Joey does.
No.
Which
Joey
only
does.
makes it worse for the fans that hate him.
Yep.
Because he's like, F you.
Yep.
I won.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and that's great.
Yep.
But I feel like the drivers don't feel as accomplished. If that makes sense.
Yeah. It waters down championships. It waters down championships, and that's what we're getting to.
And that's what we're getting to.
Yeah.
So real quick, are we happy it was like a non-chaos?
Yeah, I'm okay. Yeah. Okay. I mean, I think the only thing that almost made it chaotic was Willie B almost had the perfect strategy, but still had zero speed.
Yeah,
like they couldn't do anything. I mean, he was, again, like, they played it perfectly to get him track position. Clean air, nothing. Got domed on that restart. Yeah. I mean, Joey just went to the bottom, and oh my gosh. Like, I think that move is underrated. Like, we're not talking about that move enough because he restarted 5th. Yeah. Went straight to first in turns 1 and 2. I mean, Willie B on one lap, old tires, probably not even at speed on those old tires. Yeah, couldn't get there. So clearly they had something, and if Blaney would have got a better restart, I think it was just position-wise where he happened to be at that time, wasn't aggressive enough or something. But, I mean, if he would have got through traffic better, he would have got Joey. Yeah. He would have definitely got Joey. So, I don't know. It just...
Do you think it's weird? Like, obviously the Penske cars were faster.
Yeah.
If you're Austin Cindric or you're just on that... do you not just build that car the same? Or
I do. I think that's where the driver is. I think what I think that's what I was hoping you'd say that. Yeah, I think that's just... We know Cindric's mid. Cindric's mid at this team. I mean, I think if you go anywhere else, he'd be maybe even worse. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, I do think his car has... I think if you put Kyle Larson in that car, possibly he wins that race, you know?
That's kind of what I think, too.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like that is where next gen, going back to the state of the sport, I mean, it's showing us what's up.
It's showing us what's up.
Like the health of the sport isn't helping us get those people out.
No.
But it's showing us. And maybe that's a step forward.
And again, I do think there's something to... You can't have every driver be good enough to win a championship, too,
Very true.
Like, you're just not... There's not... Our sport should be good enough that there's not 36 drivers, or there's 38, however many charters there are. There shouldn't be that many guys that could win a championship.
No.
I just don't think so.
I agree with that, but I think that's where you look at, okay, so if you're a top team like Penske, if you have a guy like Cindric, that third car that's like never even, it's a rotating door, right?
Yeah.
Look at Tennessee. If we're not winning championships, what do they do with the head coach?
They rotate him.
We rotate. Yeah. How many have we went through?
Oh,
right.
Here in the last decade, too many.
And they don't care, right? Because like, if you're not going to win a championship, you're gone. If you're not going to win a championship, you're gone.
Yeah.
And then we have somebody that might, and we're going to try this out.
Yeah.
Right now, right?
Yeah.
Like Heupel's not on the hot seat.
No.
Now, if he goes losing next year,
I mean,
maybe. But now with this current model of NASCAR, like, you can be a Cindric.
You can be mid and just keep your ride for forever.
You can hang out, right?
Yeah.
And you can float on the fact that Penske's won the last 3 championships. No one's looking at you. Money's flowing in. They don't.
And I think that's where the head-to-head would come into play.
Yeah.
Because
it
like
you immediately.
It would, exactly, because you would see how Cindric performs on the field, in the field, week after week.
Yeah.
And that, again, I mean, I would love to see how many times Corey beat him, how many times Carson beat him.
And another point of that, let's do season-long points.
Yes.
And his win doesn't mean anything.
It means zero.
Because he's done nothing.
Yeah, he finishes 23rd in points with a win.
Right. In a Penske car.
Yeah.
That just finished 1 and 2 in the championship.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right. Last question on recap, and we'll move on. So Joey has 3 championships.
Yep.
That's the most of any active driver.
Yep.
Is he the best current NASCAR driver?
No, he's not. He's not the current best NASCAR driver. He was the best at working the format, I think.
But let me, before, and my heart is right here in this 5 car.
I know.
NASCAR driver. Is he the best
NASCAR driver?
Cup
the best
Series
one
driver?
In the car week after week.
Right now, is he the best NASCAR Cup Series driver?
Still don't think so. I still don't. I would still put like 3 guys ahead of him. Like I
do too.
Okay, I know, but I mean, I'm still putting Denny ahead of him. Like just week after week, if you had to pick a dude to bet your life on that's going to win a race, unless it's Phoenix with a championship on the line, it ain't Joey.
So my devil's advocate to that would be, when Joey has the speed, is he not the best?
Yes, but
and
then
if he doesn't have the speed, is that his fault? The whole first half of the year, they were out to lunch.
I know, but I think that's a little bit of maybe not as much as bad as this guy, but I think I see some similarities of like he's kind of like a Martin Truex sometimes, and if he knows he doesn't have the speed, he just kind of lays over.
Yeah,
you know,
that's a good point.
Again, I mean, I
because
think
in the format it doesn't
matter.
Joey's just saying.
Joey just knows.
How do I get to the playoffs, and then how do I get to the last 5 races?
Yeah. He's like, I have a really good shot at winning Vegas every year now. I have a really good shot at winning Martinsville, and I have a really good shot at winning Homestead. Those are if I can get to the last 4 races of the year, dude, you guys have put me in the perfect spot. So I don't think he's the best. I think he has a little bit of that. If we don't have speed, I'm gonna lay over a little bit, and I think he's the opposite of guys like Kevin. And we saw that. We still see that, dude. That I still think if you put, no offense to Josh Berry, no offense at all, I still think if you put Kevin back in that car, it overperforms. I think it even maybe makes the playoffs.
Yeah,
maybe.
I do too.
Maybe.
I do too.
Like it's a Ross.
They have more speed.
It's a Ross. It's a Buescher. Those guys that we thought should be there over a Harrison Burton, a Daniel Suarez. It's that type of car this year, and Josh Berry had no shot. You know, he had no shot. So I think he's top 5. Like, yes, but not the best. Not the best.
So I had and this is a little off topic, but not really. So we won't get. I've already given you my format. Change. Right?
Yep.
So let's pretend we keep doing the playoffs, and you put a bounty out, right?
Okay.
Any non-playoff driver that wins gets $200,000.
Wow.
Do you think that changes anything?
In the playoffs.
And do you think that creates excitement that let's say your 4 drivers aren't in the final championship, right? But there's a $200,000, and it could be more.
It would definitely have to probably be more.
I'm giving a realistic number.
Yeah.
Because we know NASCAR doesn't want to spend money.
Clearly.
They just want to put it in their pocket.
Yeah.
$500,000, right?
Yeah.
$500,000 bounty, non-playoff driver to win.
I think that changes things tremendously.
I think it does too.
Yeah.
I think it gives people something to race
That
for.
gives a Chris Buescher, who clearly had some speed last week, but was kind of just driving around, a little bit.
Didn't want to be the show.
Didn't want to be the show.
But if you give him $500,000,
might want to be the show.
Might want to be the show.
And it makes the playoff guys be better.
Yes.
And
because they know, they went into that race thinking there's 36 people that aren't going to mess with me.
Yeah.
Or 32, whatever.
Yeah, whatever that number is.
And now it's like, okay, now they're going to breathe down my neck for a reason.
Yeah.
But I don't think NASCAR wants that.
No, they would have to.
I don't think they want that.
No, because I do think they would have to give out. Like half the races now are won by non-playoff drivers.
Yeah.
I do.
That, and I don't think NASCAR wants non-playoff drivers winning.
Yes, that's the other problem. That's the other problem. Yeah.
I just thought. All right, standouts. If we're ready, how are we doing on time?
We're hour 15. We're doing pretty good.
We're doing pretty good.
Yeah.
Right, so Carson Corey, 26-10 is where we finished.
Wow.
So, yeah.
That's crazy on the year.
On the year. Nuts.
Whoa.
Justin and Corey 5-2.
5-2.
Now Corey had a lot of mechanical failures.
Yep.
I just want to I hate to be on his side. I'm not on his side, but I will say, no, that was his doing. I expected more out of Justin.
Yeah, I did too. Yeah, and I think we discounted a little bit how much change it was for everybody.
It was.
It was. I mean, it's just weird to pick up a completely different team. Definitely a Spire who probably runs things completely differently than Rick Ware. Yeah, Rick Ware is kind of just driving around. Yeah, so and Spire
that probably put Corey in a better position.
Yes. I'm used to
trying.
All this competitiveness. And now I can walk into the office, not just goof off, but your guard's down now. You know, you can kind of just more lay into, hey, if I, mess up here or I back into a 13th place win, that's amazing. And you don't have that straight competition where now Justin Haley is ratcheted up. He's got to
with something to prove.
Yes, he's got to conform to this new design, and I do think it'll work out better for Justin Haley. Is that the matchup we're going to watch next year? Possibly.
We'll see, because like I said, Corey
doesn't have a ride,
not confirmed. I would imagine.
Yeah,
I mean, because he already had his sponsors on that car.
Yeah,
they're going to take his money,
right?
So I would imagine. But the other thing is Justin Haley gets Rodney Childers next year.
Yeah. That'll change.
That's huge.
Yeah.
That's huge. We've talked about it. Like, I still don't believe that he's a miracle worker.
No.
Like, I'm not saying he's going to go compete for wins, but if he's not a fringe playoff guy on point, he's obviously not going to make the playoffs because we're going to have so many winners that some BS people will be in.
Yep. But maybe he's one of them BS people. At the same time,
he could be a BS people. We win Daytona.
We know how he is at super speedways.
Yeah.
Absolutely amazing. That's his only win. Yeah. And granted, it was a shortened race, but he still got it. He still had to be there.
Yeah.
So
he could be that guy. I think we keep an eye on him because I don't think it's. I mean, if Corey
maybe we don't run him with Corey, but maybe we run him with Carson in team.
That'd be a good one.
In team type of thing.
And you would think that Carson would
outshine.
It won't be 26-10.
No, it'd be competitive.
It should be competitive.
Yeah,
that's a good one.
Yeah. Okay,
we'll write that down.
Okay,
I like that. So we kind of already talked about this. So Penske has all the speed final 2 races.
Yeah.
So what do we do?
I mean, again, we've harped on it forever, change the format, but
the easy thing to do is change the races.
Yeah.
But we're not fixing anything, right?
Yeah, we're not fixing anything. I mean, dude, they're just so good. I literally think they just have the formula of like they have hot buttoned 10 races all year that we really have to compete at. And when they compete, dude, they are so good. Their drivers are really good. That's the other thing.
They have good drivers.
Yeah, that's the other thing. You put them in a winning car, they're probably going to win. And so, I mean, again, the first one is to change the ending track, but again, that doesn't solve anything because we've seen where Blaney has an edge at Miami right now. Martinsville and Miami, I think, dude. He was really good at Homestead.
Yeah, but I think Homestead, like, it'd be like Reddick and Larson over Blaney having the advantage.
I think it evens the field more, but I still think, I mean, Blaney's won there.
He hasn't.
Has he not? Mm-mm. Not in the fall? He hasn't won there at all?
He's never won there.
Okay, I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
He was really good in 2023. He almost got it. Bell won. But he was there. I think he was there. Yeah.
But I just feel like when it comes down to, I feel like he has raw speed in the car.
Yeah.
But then once a race plays out, you're always gonna have a Reddick, a Larson.
Yeah.
A Bell.
Yeah.
Like that race has its more so than Phoenix. Like I think I'm talking out of my ass here, but I feel like Phoenix.
That's what we do on this show.
That's what we do.
Yeah.
Phoenix, the advantage. I feel like that's more car.
Yeah.
Right. So like obviously Penske has something.
Yes.
Like I don't think.
So we need to go to a more driver track.
Yes, but you have to find the right one because
like
I don't.
Darlington.
Darlington wouldn't be bad, but I feel like at Phoenix, Joey and Blaney aren't doing anything different.
No.
Than a Byron or a Reddick. Right?
Yeah.
They're not doing anything different. You go to Homestead.
Yeah, Reddick's running the top.
I would guarantee that raw speed, Blaney probably has more.
Yeah.
But obviously we see what Reddick or a Larson can do.
Yeah.
So that's where I talk about an advantage.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, again.
Darlington's a great one because that's like a driver's track.
Yeah.
I mean, if you have an advantage there, it's not because you're good at running the wall. It's not because
you can pass anywhere. And we've kind of seen that, you know.
You have to manage tires.
I mean, I literally think as good as the car is going, if you don't want to change the format, you go to a mile and a half. You go to any mile and a half.
Any mile and a half.
Yeah. Anyone except Atlanta.
Yes.
Anyone but that one.
Yeah.
And, dude, we get a little bit of chaos. We get a little bit of everything we want. I mean, I don't think there's a bad mile and a half right now.
There's not.
There's not at all. Yeah. So, yeah. I mean, I think that's your answer.
All right, let's go into we don't have a race next week.
Yep.
So this week's predictions are going to be on the off season.
Yes.
So off season, they kind of alluded to this in the State of the Sport address they had. Do the playoffs get changed?
No. Dude, when you come out and say that there's nothing wrong with the playoff format,
they also said that they are willing to tweak it.
Yeah.
I think personally they change it because
really, what do they change?
I think they keep it exactly the same, except they make the last round 3 races.
Okay.
And I think that's a start.
That is a start.
And then I think we deal with that for
6 years, 4 years.
Right.
Yeah.
However long. And then once we realize that's ridiculous, if the sport's still
the same.
I
Yeah.
hate to say that, but very, very pessimistic week, right?
Yeah.
Then we changed it again. But, I mean, 3 races, I think that's a bigger sample size, but I don't think we're solving the problem.
No.
I don't think we're solving the problem because what's going to happen is you make 3 races, it gets better, and then you have another Penske that says, okay, now instead of just focusing on Phoenix, we're going to focus on these 3 races.
Yeah. And they're just going to be just as good.
Just as good, right?
Yeah. And a lot of it, too, would come down to what are those 3 tracks.
Yes.
You know,
that's exactly
that's the sad thing. Again, it's the Neosporin when we need an antibiotic.
Yeah.
That's what we need. And so, I mean, if we had to extend it, what are your 3 races, though? You know?
God, I know. I mean,
I think you have to throw like a Darlington in there. You have to throw a driver's track.
Well, here's why they won is because it's so cold.
I know. It's too late in the year. But then again, if you're making the playoffs, you started earlier, right? Because so now it's...
I don't know what they would... I mean, if they make it a 3-race playoff, I don't think they would do my idea where they make the first round 1 race.
Yeah.
I don't think that... And Darlington's never moving from Labor Day.
Yeah.
I think it's Labor Day.
Yeah. But maybe you run them like back-to-back closer. Maybe you don't have one...
Good.
You know? Yeah. You have that one that's still in the regular season. No. It's a cutoff race. It's the first round.
It's the first race of the first round.
Yeah. So maybe you just move it back. No, you have to have it on Labor Day. I'm sorry. Yeah, I know. That's the problem. But you see what I'm saying? I mean, I just don't know what other...
I think you could keep it... well, you can't really keep it Martinsville. You can't keep it Homestead, Martinsville, Phoenix. Because of Penske.
Yeah.
Which is absolutely absurd to say just because this one team's so good.
And it's not their fault.
It's not their fault.
It's not their fault.
They've done their job.
Yes.
So I don't know. I don't know what that would look like. I do think they change it because we changed it from regular season points because of a person, Matt Kenseth. We changed it from the chase to the playoffs because of Jimmy Johnson because he won too many. We've had this format for 10, 11 years, and we started in 14. Joey's won 3 of them.
Yeah.
NASCAR doesn't like that.
Yeah.
I'm telling you they don't like that. So I feel like they'll change something.
Okay.
Whether that's messing with bonus points, whether that's messing with rounds, I think it gets changed.
Did you happen to hear Kevin's idea?
Yeah, I hated it.
Yeah. I do think it adds more to the regular season, though.
Yeah, but I think what he said was so if you won the regular season championship, you had an automatic lock.
To the final 4.
Okay. So you have 9 races.
No, I know. Again, it's not a perfect, but I see what he's trying to do.
I see what he's trying to do, but I'm trying to find a system to where we don't have meaningless races.
Yes.
Now
it makes the regular season more meaningful.
Yes.
Which we don't have right now. In reality,
once you win a race,
but like you said, now it makes the playoffs less meaningful, which is the most meaningful thing we have right now.
Yeah.
And so we're trying to find something in the middle.
We're balancing 2 things because we go all through the regular season, and that's important.
Yes.
Right? Like we see people race, in my opinion, harder in the regular season to try to get that win. But then once you get that win, like we saw Joey do it at Nashville.
Yes.
Tried his balls off to get a win.
Yeah.
Got a win. We didn't see him again.
No, we didn't see him before that though. Sadly.
And then he randomly gets into the round of 8 because of Bowman, and then he starts trying again.
Yeah.
So it's like I'm trying to reduce meaningless races. Now,
yes.
Why we went to this format to begin with is because we always had people. We had the Matt Kenseth thing, but we had people get out of the car and say we had a good points day today.
Yeah.
I get why people don't like that. That's why I'm team make the wins more points.
Yeah.
Right? You can have a good points day, but eventually those are going to get, like, if you're not going for a win.
You keep finishing 5th every week. It doesn't matter.
At some point you have to do something, right?
Yeah.
Because all these other guys are winning, getting more points, and they deserved them because they won.
Yeah.
So.
They do.
Next question. How do you think this lawsuit will play out with 2311, Front Row, and NASCAR?
Dude, the more it eggs on, the more nervous I get for 2311. You know?
Yeah. I have so much confidence in this lawyer, though.
I do too, but at the same time, he's never lost, but also no one's ever won against NASCAR. So that's where you got to be, like, very, nervous. NASCAR has put their foot down. No charters. They're not doing anything. They want
the court sided with them on that.
Yeah, the court sided with them on that.
But they said that's as of now, right?
As of now, yes.
As of now, if we get this trial done in a month or 2 months, all that could change.
Yeah,
that's just what they said right now. So
yeah.
The fact, from what Denny said, the fact that they're willing to push this through and speed it up is a good sign for the teams.
Yes.
So,
yes. Mm-hmm.
I think something has to come out of it. I just don't feel like this lawyer can leave and say we didn't accomplish anything.
Yeah. No, I'm with you.
Impossible.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much to speculate until we see. It's just going to be a waiting game right now.
Yeah.
And I'm excited to see it play out, and you're going to hear it firsthand here on this podcast. We're going to
do a whole episode on it.
Yeah.
Because I think it'll have to be done before the season starts.
It has to be.
Because so much is riding on them having charters.
Yeah.
And that's why they expedited the process to start. So
and the more you think about it too, Denny and Michael have invested so much, like just with everything. No way they don't see an avenue that they lose or that they don't win.
They wouldn't go into this if they didn't think they could win.
Exactly.
And they wouldn't hire that because I'm sure that lawyer's not cheap.
No.
There's no way.
But money's not an object.
It's not an object, but also like they're not just going to spend money willy nilly if they don't.
No.
I mean, and they've put all their eggs into this basket because they don't even have charters right now.
No, they don't.
So,
God, it would have been awesome if Tyler Reddick won.
I know. I wanted it so bad. I wanted it so bad. But at least, like we said, there was one winner that would have made everything quiet.
And it was Blaney, and he didn't win.
So we got Logano. Social media's blowing up.
Doing its thing.
I think that brings some kind of change.
Yeah.
I think we'll get something out of it.
Yeah.
All right. Who will be the champion next year? You don't have to be right.
I know. But I mean, easy picks: Larson, Blaney, or Logano. I feel like those are top three. I think are we basing this off format doesn't change? You see, that throws a wrench into it too.
I say you just got to pick somebody.
You got to pick somebody?
Yeah, you just got to pick somebody.
Okay,
I'm the same way. Like I can think of so many different ways.
Yeah. I think you go Larson. I think Larson wins his second one. Yeah.
I'm going to go Seabell.
Seabell finally does it.
It's just due.
It is due.
And I feel like, let's say the format doesn't change. It's been 3 years of Penske.
Yeah.
I would guarantee every other team is in the shop right now.
Oh, yeah. No, I think
that has to come to an end.
Yeah. I mean, we both didn't pick Penske drivers. Right. But, I mean, I think I went with the safest one of probably the best NASCAR driver that we have out there.
I just feel like Larson's never going to win another championship.
Wow.
It doesn't mean he's not the best.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, it's just this.
I know. I just think he does. I think he does. I think he wins 4. I think he gets to Jeff Gordon level.
He's running out of time.
I know.
He's 31 years old.
Oh, that's nothing, dude. Dale won at 43, won a championship.
Yeah, but that's not the game we play anymore.
Just saying.
I think Larson's got, if he does it the way he says he's going to do, he's got 9 years left.
Oh, yeah. He can easily get 3 more in 9.
He's been
Pull a Joey. Win every other year.
He's been in the sport for 10.
I understand. He's only been with, how long has he been with Hendrick?
21, 22, 23, 24.
So 4 years?
4 years. One every 4?
One every 4.
That means he's going to get 3.
Yeah.
3 total.
Okay, so I'd be close.
You'd be close. Now they changed the format. Well, see, the other thing about Larson is, almost this format, you got to take 21 out of the equation.
Yeah.
Right? Because he would have won in any format.
Yeah.
But, like, the best thing that could have happened to him this year was the format. Because he either won or
lost. Yeah.
Now, his average finish wasn't as bad as Joey's.
Yeah.
But if Larson were to win, you could almost make a case like you did for Joey.
Yeah.
Because, like, dude, he had, like, top 2 or 3 DNFs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, you got to take that into account.
Yeah.
So.
You definitely do.
I don't know. I mean, I wish he would be an 8-time champion, but.
Yeah, no, that's not going to happen.
That's the world we live in.
No, it's not. And NASCAR doesn't want that. We know that. They don't want that.
No, if he does, they'll change the format.
Yeah.
So,
they'll change it year 3.
Yeah.
Once it
if
gets
you have
to
the
3.
number 5, you can't win the championship.
Yeah, that's how it is.
The rule.
Yeah.
So, any more off-season predictions? That's the only questions and we're gonna do some. Just so y'all know, we're gonna do a handful of off-season episodes.
Yeah. Hot take: Carson Hocevar makes the playoffs. That's my off-season prediction.
Super hot take.
I think
he has to win a race.
I do too, but I also think that Spire has the potential to win a race, and I think if anybody there is going to do it, it's going to be him. I think he wins a race.
I can see it.
I think he wins a race, and I think he punches his ticket to the playoffs.
God, that'd be so awesome. Can you imagine Carson Hocevar in the playoffs? You think he doesn't give a shit now?
Yeah.
Yeah. He'd be a Darlington right hooking people.
Yeah, and I also, like, when I say that, I don't think it's like a Harrison Burton either.
Yeah.
Like you know what I mean? Like he kind of backs into a win or just has a really good card that week, but I also think that he would rally the season good enough to know. Like, I don't think he gets that win early, is what I'm saying. Like, he gets it with like 10 races left in the regular season. So he gets it like dead midway through, like somewhere around when we make at the Coke 600, somewhere in there, like right after the All-Star race.
Okay. So could you see him go back to Kansas this year?
Yeah.
I could see him doing that.
Yeah.
I could see him up on the wheel, just driving his ass off and winning like a Kansas.
Yeah.
I could see that.
Yeah. And then you do that.
The whole day, they're like, can you believe Carson Hocevar's up here? And then he just capitalizes at the right time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's running that. He's the 4th fastest car, and he's learned enough, has a great restart, gets out front in clean air, and just kind of drives away.
Yeah, and then blocks his ass off or doors somebody.
Yeah, it does whatever.
It's going to be controversial.
100%.
It's got to be controversial.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
That's my biggest hot take so far.
I'm going to get a beer real quick. So keep talking. Any more?
No, not that I can think of. I mean, I feel like Bowman has a year. I feel like Bowman has a year.
I hope so.
I hope so too, for his sake. Rumors swirling still. I hope he has a year. And again, this is probably completely biased. I think Ross has another year. I think he has another year. He brings it back. And again, not championship type quality, but I think he could. I think he wins 2. I think he wins one of the road courses. I think he could win at Nashville again, and just in Kansas. He can win at Kansas or Iowa. I think we're going back to Iowa, ain't we?
Yes.
Yeah, dude, he's so good at Iowa. It's underrated. That dude's good at Iowa.
I will say I think he brought it this year.
Really?
Much like Bubba.
Yeah, it just didn't work out. Yeah.
Format. I mean, I'm not saying he had what was the year he won?
He won Coda.
And then he won
Nashville. No, he won. Oh, yeah, that was a different year. Sorry.
Yeah, that was 22.
22.
Coda
and
Dega. He made it to the Final Four.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he had a year like that, but he didn't have a terrible year.
No, and I'm not saying that either, but I'm just saying race win wise.
Yeah.
Race win wise, he had an awful year because he didn't win. And I think
he won that one race.
No, he didn't.
He won in the playoffs.
Not this year.
Yes, he did.
He won in the. Yes, I'm so sorry. Yes, he did win in the playoffs. Yes, he did. I'm so sorry.
What race it was.
Yeah, it was round of 12. He won in the round of 12.
I want to make you think through it while I look it up.
Oh my gosh, I'm trying to think the races in the round of 12. Bristol. Yeah, Bristol's a cutoff race.
That's a round of 16.
That's a round of 16?
Mm-hmm.
Is Darlington the round of 12 then? No, Darlington's the cutoff to the playoffs.
This year.
Yeah. Just give me the cutoff race in the round of 12. I think it's the round of 12. If I'm wrong about the round of 12, then you can tell me.
So, round of 12, because we opened with Atlanta.
Yeah.
So, round of 16 was Atlanta, the Glen, Bristol. Round of 12 was Kansas, Talladega, Roval.
Kansas. He won at Talladega.
Kansas.
Kansas. It was Kansas, but it was the round of 12.
It was round of 12.
Okay. Dang it, yeah. So, yeah, he did get a win, but he got it too late. Again, too late.
He finished 19th in points.
Yeah.
Yep. But remember, he had that huge point penalty.
Yeah.
Because he cheated at Martinsville.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. It is what it is.
It is what it is.
I mean,
what you would say to that.
Yeah. I mean,
so,
dude, he's doing what he's told. I'm not putting that on him.
I know. Well, you know what he was probably told to do at Phoenix last year?
Not win. Yeah, I know.
All right. Real quick, just so I can write it down, because we keep our sheets here.
Yep.
I've got Seabell 25.
Yeah, I got Larson.
All right, let's get into Drop the Green Bet. So, update us overall, not only where we finished this week, but I guess where we finished overall for the year.
Yeah, so we were down minus 1.5 units. Bowman didn't pan out for us there at the end, finished 14th. That sucks. And we didn't have a spoiler, so you were right. Yeah, you're right. No spoiler. I was texting you in the middle of the race, though, and Seabell looked good.
He did look good.
He looked good.
Yeah. But did you notice that last restart? He was 3 wide, and he just...
I know.
Yeah.
Again, and I mean, I'll take my chances on that.
Yeah.
Say he doesn't get 3 wide. Say he doesn't get 3 wide and he gets the lead. I would love to see Blaney drive through the field. Also, Logano pass him. I don't know. Maybe Seabell pulls over for him, but maybe he doesn't.
Yeah.
You know. So
but I think Logano wrecks him.
Probably, but golly, that would have made me feel better about my bet. You know what I mean?
No,
yeah.
I understand.
So he doesn't win, but we get Logano top 5. That was cash money, minus 115. That was a steal. It moved. Money. I did look. It moved to like minus 220 by the start of the race. So
good value.
Great value. We got him minus 120 or minus 115. Yeah, but we lost 1.2 units on the day, but we are up 1.3 for the year. So 1.3 units. If you gambled with me every cent, you made money. And that's what I set out to do. I'm going to go more in depth on one of our off-season episodes. I got some stats. We're going to look at who hit the most, and just look at what we hit. See how many times our Bowman pick hit, because golly, it felt like it hit so many times and got stagnant like the last 3 races. I think I went back to it. But I mean, I think that's the move, to ride these fringe guys. Looking like a Chris Buescher top 10 this race would have probably been absolutely amazing, you know, odds wise.
Like he gained like 27 spots. But who would have known?
Yeah, who would have known? So it's one of those. I'm gonna go in depth on it and look at that, and so I'm pretty excited about that episode. But hey, we made money this year. I'm proud of it.
Yep. So once again, if you followed us, you're up 1.3 units.
Yep.
If your unit's $1, you trailed us all year. At one point, you were down $11.
Yep.
You came out $1.3.
You did.
So
yes,
if your
you
unit's
did.
$1,000, $1,300 in your pocket.
Yep.
Because of us. So
you're welcome.
Forget your 401k.
Yeah, you don't need it. Come back here. I do want to set a goal next year. I think that would be interesting. I want to bump it to 3. I don't think 3 be up 3 units at the end of the year.
Okay.
Based on what we know this year, again, everything can change format wise, whatever. But I think 3 be up 3 units at the end of the year. That would be almost a triple. The size that we're up, so I think that's attainable. And if we end up somewhere over 2, I'll be pretty happy. But I think 3 is my goal there. So I'm excited what next year has to bring. Season 2.
Well, like you said, we'll probably do a whole episode on this. But so not to bury too much of it. So what are your overall lessons, and what do you think worked the best?
Yeah, I think we've found a working strategy for the super speedways. I
agree with that 100%.
Yeah, I think we found something, but we found it too late. We found it too late because I think the first time we tried it was spring.
We only did it twice.
Yeah, we did it. We did it summer,
Daytona,
and then Talladega, and I didn't touch it at Atlanta. So, but we only tried it twice, and it paid off the one other time at Talladega. So. I think that's the biggest learn from there. And then maybe just to feed off a little bit more of our minus 115s, like our Joey Logano's, stuff like that. But then again, you know me. I mean, I'm always going to go for that plus 850 Carson Hocevar.
Right.
You know,
you have to,
because when you feel it, you know, and honestly, the one time I said I really felt it, he freaking got a top 10, and it was legendary.
Yeah,
it was legendary. So I think that, but yeah, the biggest learn from is going to be our strategy at the super speedways, which I think will not put us in a hole anymore. And if the more times that you can stay out of a hole, the more opportunities that we have to make money throughout the year. And just looking for those guys that are good places and watching. Maybe try not to base. As far as me, I do love the statistics of the race, but dude, at some point you have to throw those out the window.
Yeah,
and they don't mean anything. So, I think a little bit more combination of, hey, Joey has 5 top 10s here in the past 5 years. Whatever it is, let's hammer it. You know, getting more on those trend type of things. But then again, I would love to go back, and I will for sure, and look at those trends that you told me that no, this won't happen, and it did, and it happened both ways.
Right.
So we got to take the ones out that we lose, but try to add the ones that we win. So,
yeah,
and that's why it's tough. It's why it's tough, especially in this sport. Oh my gosh, it's not X's and O's.
It's the hardest sport to bet on.
I do. I've said that many
I
times.
think it is too.
Yeah, I mean, I don't. All the variables. There's not this many variables in any other sport. I mean, you can have injuries on teams, but golly, you don't have a point spread to fall back on. And with the amount of what I hoped overall is that maybe NASCAR betting has gained more, and we will, with more sports books opening up, not just in this state but everywhere. Maybe we can go not just to another book, but maybe pick more head-to-heads. We can pick more caution, just stuff that we talked about on our betting thing, and maybe options. It's more options than just top 10s, top 5 winners, and manufacturers. And that was a big one I got away from. That was helping us out tremendously, and that was one of the ones that I think you said, no, dude, they're not going to win. Ford hadn't won here in forever, and then we hit a Ford, no, I know what it was. A Ford hadn't won a race at the beginning of the year for like the first 10 races. It was a lot of races, and you just kept going back to them, and you knew they were going to get one. You just didn't want to miss it when they did. So just hammering stuff like that, seeing the trends a little bit clearer, maybe doing a little bit better mapping of where the money is and stuff like that. But I think overall for first year, I'm pretty excited. We didn't lose money.
No, we didn't lose money. Yeah. I think that's the biggest part.
It is.
Just to go off your point of it being so hard, I was thinking about this the other week. We watched Tennessee play Mississippi State. They were up 20 at half, I think. About
something
20,
like that, yeah.
Something like that. And then Nico goes out, our starting quarterback, and they still win. You think about you can win. You can lead a race by 5 seconds halfway. You blow a tire.
Yeah.
You lose.
Yeah.
You still lose.
No, there's been so many bets that we've talked about.
Isn't that crazy? Like,
yes.
You can't compare it to any other sports betting at all.
No, you can. I mean, Seabell looked amazing. That whole entire race till that final restart looked great. And again, that's a lot of it's maybe the format. Who knows what he had? He backed out of the 3 wide. But I mean, you can't not bet on who you think's not going to have, who's going to have the best car, and just see if he lays over or not. And I have to stick to my guns. So that's another thing I will say. I'm not going to shy away from the plus 850s. Exactly. Yeah. You can't get nervous about it. You have to gamble responsibly. I don't know if I've said that. Please gamble responsibly.
I think we have to.
Yeah, you have to. I mean, we do it every week, but please gamble responsibly. I mean, we're not putting a mortgage on these races. We're just having fun. Yeah. And again, even if you did, you got your mortgage back. So yeah. So your wife can't be mad at you, but we did win some money. So I'm super excited about next year, and again, we're going to shoot for 3. It's only going to get better.
Yeah,
it's only going to get better.
A lot. And we'll have a good off-season episode about it.
Yeah.
Let's close it out. You got to choose who's on.
I do. Let me pull it up here.
Let me look away.
No, you should be fine. You gotta have to give me just a second though. I'm excited about this one.
Are you? Are you just gonna absolutely screw me?
No, you should get this one, but I will say I went a little tough on the facts, so there's probably gonna be some question usage. All right. Again, another rendition. This is week 11 of the Choose Who Zone. I don't have the sheet in front of me, but what's the numbers at?
Good memory.
Yeah.
Good memory, though. We are 7-3.
Okay.
I've won 7. You've won 3.
3. Okay.
Colby won one of them.
Yes.
But
yeah,
it's Colby. So
it's Colby. We'll count it. We'll give it to him. We're gonna get him in here all season episode. So if you're a massive Colby fan, he'll be back. I promise you.
And evidently they are.
They are. They love Colby. They love Colby. We all love Colby.
Our highest viewed episodes.
Colby.
Yeah.
Get him back in the studio. Yeah. All right. Choose Who Zone. If you don't know the rules, 3 facts, 2 questions, 3 total guesses. Guesses can be traded for questions. Fact 1. Best finish in points was 3rd in 1971 and 1973. I like that. I like that Jeff Gordon. 2001.
I like that.
Yeah.
This is his last championship.
Yeah. Number 4.
That's right.
Yeah. If anything,
Logano's this close.
Yeah, that's crazy. 93 wins to 30. Yeah, not even 40.
Not even close.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Fact 2. Someone that we know, their mom dated this driver's son.
What in the world?
That's a fact.
That's the most vague fact. Even if you told me who that someone was, I still wouldn't know.
I'm telling you.
Someone we know.
Yeah. That someone's mom dated this driver's son.
Someone we know's
mom
dated that driver's son.
Yeah, okay. This driver's son. Yeah.
Sounds like a rumor.
Yep. First driver to set the fastest lap at Dega over 200 miles an hour.
Oh, that's easy.
Yeah, I was worried about that one.
I think it's easy. There's 1 or 2 people.
Well, you have 3 guesses.
First
questions?
Driver that fastest lap at Dega?
Yep.
Is it Benny Parsons?
No.
Really?
Yeah.
No, he definitely.
I promise you.
He definitely.
Promise you.
How many guesses do I have?
You have 2 more.
Is it Bill Elliott?
No.
There's no way. There's no way your facts are wrong.
Oh, dude.
Your facts are so wrong.
My fact is not wrong. My fact is not wrong.
Go back to what question 3 was.
Okay.
Okay, I'll look away.
No, I don't.
I'll look away.
No, hold on.
I'm not looking.
Okay, I can't. Okay, hold on. Oh my God, slideshow. Okay. Did you see it?
No.
Okay.
Is it on the...
Yeah, you're good.
Fastest driver to set the fastest...
First driver.
That was Benny Parsons.
Dude.
Benny Parsons, they had it up on the screen.
Benny Parsons. We've already done Benny.
I know, but I'm telling you. We have not done Benny. We did Benny as a dedication.
Oh, but it's not him.
I believe it was him that did this. He was the first one to go over 200. Benny Parsons was.
Yes. Okay. He was the first one to... Hold on. At Dega.
Where did Benny do it?
Daytona.
They did... fastest...
You have 1 guess left. I'm just letting you know. You guessed 2.
I understand what happened.
Okay.
Someone we know. That makes no sense. I feel like I don't even know this person.
You definitely know this person.
And they've never told me this.
Yeah, they should have.
They clearly didn't. Over 200 miles an hour at Talladega.
Yeah.
Bill Elliott has the fastest speed at Talladega, right? Like 226.
Fastest average speed. Average speed. Maybe I forgot average.
I feel like I should get a guess back.
Get a guess back. Average. The fastest average speed on a closed track at Talladega.
Closed track.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god. A closed track. That I feel like that's important to say.
I don't think so.
This wasn't qualifying or practice. This is like a random January the 5th in Talladega. Man. Best finished third, 71 and 73. That doesn't help me.
Bill Elliott. Hold on.
Yeah.
Bill Elliott was the second over 200
Okay.
at Dega.
What was his speed? Does it say
212.
212?
212.
So I'm all over.
You're
it.
kind of all over it. Yeah.
all over it.
This guy's was 200 miles per hour, 0.447. That was his miles per hour. But he was the first one to do it at Dega.
Okay.
And that record stood until Bill Elliott broke it.
Okay.
But I did say first driver. I didn't say.
I'll just take one guess.
Okay.
One guess left.
Okay.
I'll be fair.
Yeah.
Where's this driver from?
That's your question?
I get 2 questions.
Yeah, you get 2 questions. This driver is from South Carolina. Let me give you the town.
You can't tell
Florence.
me. Florence?
Mm-hmm.
Like Florence Speedway?
Yep.
Florence, South Carolina. That does not help me. Should that help me?
I don't know. I thought you would have got it off of this one.
I did. I guess 2 different.
Yeah. They were both wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know why you think I'd know that. If it's a closed test, like how do I know that?
Hold on.
Florence, South Carolina. See, I thought it would be like one of the Alabama gang, but then you say Florence, South Carolina. That makes no sense. 71 and 73. You're kind of out of my wheelhouse.
I'm trying to get to. You got one more question.
I know.
And you can trade your last guess for a question if you
No,
want.
I have one more guess.
Oh, okay.
I'm being fair.
Never won a championship.
This whole someone we know's mom dated the driver's son.
Yeah.
It's really throwing me off.
I know. You should know.
I've never heard this story.
Oh. I got a funny story behind all this once we get done.
I need to finish it up so you can tell the story. Though.
Yeah.
Who was he driving for in 73?
K&K Insurance Racing.
I knew better than to ask that question.
Yeah. This is 1973, buddy. God, he had a stat line though. 73 zone. It was
73 was out there. It was pretty good.
good.
From Florence, South Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
But he never won a championship. See, that's what's
Never won a championship.
from Florence, South Carolina. I would just be throwing darts at a board right now. But it's a household name.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Like Hall of Fame worthy?
That's a question, buddy. That's a question that I ain't answering. But yeah. You're so lost. He's one of the 75 greatest, buddy.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
You're serious.
I'm dead ass.
75 greatest.
Mm-hmm.
I should ask if he's still alive.
That would have been a really good one. Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to guess this. No, that's not right. That's too early. I'm just going to give up. I don't want to take too much time.
Really?
Yep.
Nothing.
I wanted to say that's not who I was thinking. No.
Buddy Baker.
Wow, I know that name.
Yeah.
I know that name. All right, tell the story because I have no idea who you're even.
So I sometimes I like to ask people, because even though we put in the description sometimes to send me your suggestions or whatever, so no one does. So I just take it upon myself to ask people. So I asked Noah, avid listener.
Pendry?
Yes, sir.
No kidding.
I asked him. I said, dude.
I brought his name. Just to be clear, I brought his name up.
Yeah, I know.
Five times before we.
I know. That's why I was like, this is crazy.
I was texting him earlier.
I said, hey, buddy, do you know a good driver I could use for the Choose Who's on this week? He said, I haven't listened to it in a while.
I feel like he's told me that too.
He said, I haven't listened in a while, but have you used Buddy Baker? And I said, I haven't. And he said, my personal favorite fact about Buddy Baker is that my mom dated Buddy's son. I think Brandon Baker was his name, and she met Ric Flair at Buddy Baker's house.
What?
Yeah.
Noah.
I know.
Noah's got the best story.
I know. That was incredible. I said, Buddy Baker's done, buddy. It's done. And I only needed two.
Good one.
I only needed
that's
two
a
facts.
household name.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right.
There you go.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
That's 7-4 right there.
Wow. Jesus. All right. Well, thank you, Noah.
Yeah. Thanks, Noah, man. I hope you enjoy this episode.
Wow.
Yep.
All right. Well, like Spencer said, we're going to close this out. Oh, how are we doing on time? I got a question for you.
We're good. Okay. Yeah.
What are you going to do? Are you going to watch any racing before?
Yeah, we'll watch a little bit of racing. I'll probably honestly end up at your house watching a little dirt or something. I'm excited. I mean, I'm definitely I'm going to enjoy our break though. Yes. You don't realize it, but even though as much as we love the sport, not that it's ever been really a chore, but sometimes it does feel good to know after a race that you don't have to do a podcast on Wednesday, And again, I love it every time we do it. And that's the reason we still do it. We've done 37 of these dudes.
Yeah.
We do it because we love it, but I'm going to enjoy not having to worry about if the computer can hold up. I'm excited
a lot of work.
I'm excited to upgrade. We got some big things coming for next year. I'm ready for a break, but excited for the future. So that's
I think the big one, so big late model race this weekend.
Okay.
You won't be here.
Yeah, I won't. I'll be in Athens, Georgia. I will say, yes, I'm going to watch some racing, but I'm shifting hardcore to football.
Right.
I mean, it's
deservedly so.
Yeah. And definitely not that my college football has been affected, but definitely my NFL watching has. Just because it's Sunday. It's hard. Luckily, the Titans suck, so I don't have to worry about that. But
it's been a help.
It's been a help for sure. I didn't even turn the game on the championship race. Didn't even turn it on. We played the Chargers. We were gonna get whooped anyway.
Yeah.
So,
is Matt Stafford still at the Chargers?
No, you're stupid. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. He's at the Rams, buddy.
Different team. Still LA.
Still same city. Yeah. No. It was the San Diego Chargers. They moved to LA. Whoa.
So speaking of the St. Louis Rams.
We're going to that, right? Okay.
So I'm trying to go to the big dirt at the Dome.
Yep.
I looked into it. Very expensive.
Really?
Very expensive. We'll talk about it off air. Okay. Worst case scenario, we're going to watch it on Flow. But there's a big super dirt late model race.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, what's funny about it is people love it. It's the biggest gimmick in dirt racing.
Yeah.
Honestly, because they make a track the size of Bowman Gray, like the Clash.
Yeah.
In the old St. Louis Rams stadium. But dude, the car count is unreal. Everybody with a super late model.
They go there.
They go there. So your big names, your small names, anybody. And anybody can win it. So I've showed you the video of Tyler Carpenter.
Yeah, awesome, dude. That's the personalities we need in the sport.
The personalities, right? And so I don't think they're doing this anymore, but maybe they are, maybe they're not. But at one time, if you won the main event, so it's Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So Thursday, they split up the field. So half the people race Thursday, half race Friday. That determines who gets into Saturday. And then all day Saturday, it's last constellation type races.
Yeah.
Right? But you can lock yourself in Thursday or Friday. So if you win the main event on Saturday, you would win a truck ride with Nice Motorsports. So Tyler Carpenter has raced a NASCAR Truck Series race because he won
In a dirt late model. Super late model. Yeah.
And so, like, his victory lane picture was by a Nice Motorsport truck.
That's awesome.
I think that's so cool.
Yeah.
I don't know if they do that anymore. And I mean, they should.
They definitely should.
It's like the coolest thing ever.
Yeah.
But,
who cares? It's a truck race.
Yeah. It's a truck race. And I think it was like the truck race at whatever dirt track. I think it was Bristol Dirt when they did it. So I don't even think they did it last year, honestly. Because I did watch it. Last year was the first year I had Flow. I actually watched it. It was amazing. They do driver intros. Dude, I'm telling you, the driver intros for the main event take 45 minutes.
Let's go.
Like they walk out.
It's a show.
It's a show.
Yeah.
It's a tiny track. For some reason, cars flip.
Yeah, dude. When we were watching highlights of that was unreal.
Unreal.
They can't be going over 70.
No. You never see dirt late models flip. They're just flipping
everywhere. Yeah.
So that's a big one. We're gonna try to go to it. We'll see. Talk to you about it. Talk to our buddy Dave about it. Might be a little tricky, but worst case scenario, we'll watch it at home.
Yeah. Okay.
So
that's the big racing.
That's what I'm looking forward to.
Yes. Yeah.
And then Chili Bowl. We got football. I'll watch that too.
Yeah.
But yeah, like winter dirt racing kind of holds me.
That's the move. That's the move. Get Flow.
Get Flow.
Yeah, Flow. If you want to sponsor, dude, we will.
That would be so great.
Yeah, you don't even really have to give us any money. If you give us 2 free subscriptions,
that would be even better.
That's
then I could justify buying Dirt Vision.
Yeah,
this is a dirty word to Flow, but I missed all of the World of Outlaws finals.
I know
because it's $300 to buy Dirt Vision. Yeah. Flow's $150.
I know it's better.
And it's better.
It's better.
So much better.
Heard it here first. Flow, the GOAT.
It's the GOAT. It's the go-to.
Yeah.
But we'll close it out here. So, end of the season. Thank you, Spencer, for everything.
Yeah, man. Thank you.
Spencer does all the work here. I just show up. We've got some off-season episodes for y'all.
Yep.
So you haven't seen The Last of Us, whether you like it or not.
And then for sure, we kind of nailed down a date a little bit for season 2. So our bonus episodes are going to be... they're just going to be bonus, so they'll just say bonus on them. And then we will start back with episode 38 sometime February 9th that week. So that's a week before Daytona.
Yep.
And we'll do, just to give you a lineup of kind of what we're thinking, just to not keep you on edge. We're going to try to do a Choose Who Zone episode, so it'll be an hour and a half of us just BSing and doing Choose Who Zones, hoping to maybe have Colby on that one. We're going to do a silly season episode, so talking about driver moves, everything. That'll be probably a little later on once we figure out where everything's going a little bit, but also some predictions, so we'll probably do it a little earlier too. Following the lawsuit, for sure. We weren't joking about that. Yeah. Whole episode dedicated to the lawsuit and what happens. And then 4 and 5 may combine them depending on how long they are, but nicknames and bets.
Yeah,
so, again, we're going to keep it rolling. But look back for us. Season 2, episode 38. It's going to drop somewhere around February 9th. And more upgrades to come. So, yeah.
And we appreciate y'all hanging with us.
Yeah.
And, hopefully we'll have more to come.
Yes. Yep. All right.
Thank y'all.
Thank you.